Let's get out of here. Can't raise the sail yet. Strike up a tune. We need an epic tale.
A good nickname must carry a good story. My nickname is Bjorn Bloodtooth. And I too carry a story to go.
All sail!
My nickname has nothing to do with battles, nor my love of beef and meat. It is due to fish. Years before I became a berserker, my greedy brother and I fished a mighty salmon run on the Orkla River. The Jarl of that place had offered a silver horn to the fisher who caught the heaviest fish that day. I'd had little luck, until suddenly, a fish as large as a pike leaped into my net. Yet it gleamed, sun-gold, like a salmon should. I hauled the fish aboard, but once on deck it slipped my net and got free. I dove and held it down, but again it wriggled loose. I dove forward, but my greedy brother tackled me, so his son could spear the fish and claim the reward. While my brother pinned my arms, I crawled forward and bit the fish, slamming it on the deck until it died. The prize was mine. That is how I earned my name, Bloodtooth.
Take the mask down.
Yet to my alpha, I was called Sweet, as I so loved her sweets.
Raise the mast. Let the sail out. Less sail.
No need for this. Calm yourself, lucky spawn.
Sail out. Let's have a song. Who will share a tale?
Some time ago, I met a wandering skald in search of a jarl or king to serve. He had not composed a verse in years, and was fearful of losing his skill. I said I knew many such great men, a few jarls, a handful of kings by name. But to my knowledge, all of them had many skalds of their own. This poor skald was disappointed and thanked me for my time, asking my name as he departed.
We can continue later. Up the sail! They will attack outside here. Run up the sail! Sing, my ravens. Is there a sea scald among you?
The last time we were docked, I saw two drunk-ass Odin warriors take a tinkle of this great river steam. You know...
We will pick up from there. Where were you?
You know who you are, both of you. Nope.
Oh, you have likely never heard the story of the time Odin and Freya appeared before me on a dark winter's night. They
called you their orphan child, yes, dog. We've heard the tale as often as the sun has risen and set. I knew a crazed man about my age called Roku. We had taken to calling Rokur the rodent for his habit of collecting axes. For 20 years he collected axes of all make and size. He had never seen a day of battle, but he swore to Thor that he would. In his 31st year, after drinking too much ale, Rokur seduced another man's wife. That man called a holmgang against...
Hold on, good skald. This area is off limits. Were you at the good part yet?
In his 31st year, after drinking too much ale, Rokur seduced another man's wife. That man called a holmgang against Rokur. Rokur accepted the holmgang, and on the agreed-upon day, he laid out 12 of his axes and asked, "Which of these will I use to slay you? Will it be Bone Splitter?" he said. "My bearded blade inscribed with Seidr runes, affixed to a handle of English oak? Or Blood Fountain," he continued. "My Dane axe, which swings through the air..."
Save it for later. All right, back to the story.
"Or Blood Fountain," he continued. "My Dane axe, which swings through the air on two hands with the speed of an arrow's flight. Or might it be...
Hush now. Were you at the good part yet?
Or might it be twin wolf wound?
Hold on, good Scot. Where were you?
Or might it be twin wolf wounder? Roker growled, growing even more bold. Fierce pair of throwing axes. At that moment, the man who
Drop
had
the
challenged
mask!
Roker brought a large stone down upon his head. Roker died instantly, and his axes were given away as gifts.
Raise the mast!
Sail is ready when needed.
The seat of King Alfred's power, where hawk shit stains my boots. I will find the man in white in their god's house.
All right, keep going.
Won't be gentle if they spot me.
Show me.
This must be the house of their timid god. They built him a rich dwelling.
Bishop Aelfirth. He is not with God. He is locked in the flaming crypt where all heretics go.
A Dane treads the cobbles of God's house. In search of Christ's redemption, I hope.
Your Christ can wait his turn. It is you I've come to see.
Is that so?
When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly cometh wisdom. You know these words, and you know why I speak them.
I do, but I am not yet satisfied that you are the one for the task ahead. As Jesus said unto Thomas, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Speak the deeds of Christ in order. Only then will you cometh unto my Lord.
If I must dance to your tune, tell me where to step.
In books one may find such wisdom. We had many in England, before the Danes burned our churches. A few yet remain nearby. Or perhaps a more pious soul in need of charity will reward you with a lesson.
I have nothing for you now, but I will return. He bathed in the river, so a gentle wash brings them closer to their God. He rose from the dead? A nice trick, and not easily done. Their God brings them light, just as Baldur does. Light as bright as the summer sun.
Speak the deeds of Christ in order.
God breathed on the water, and in the Jordan River, he was cleansed of all sin.
His baptism.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration.
The women came with offerings, but they could not find him when they looked among the dead.
His resurrection. And Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. Well spoken.
Are the riddles done?
That is not for me to decide, for I am not the one who summoned you. If you follow, I will lead you to him.
I solved your riddle. Now all I get is silence. Who am I to meet?
Shh. Even a fool, when he keeps silent, is considered wise.
Yet men become wise by speaking with other men. They grow foolish when keeping to silence.
Hush! Your prattling offends God's ears.
We're here.
May Christ, whose terror scares away the foul throngs, make with me a strong covenant. Was God's lesson instructive?
I learned that my gods and yours inspire tales of equal amusement. They make me howl with laughter.
A dull answer, but a battle-blunted axe may yet be sharpened.
Do all the priests in Winchester have this same skill for drama? You risk your life, Alfred King.
I have invited you here to speak on equal terms. Do the Dane laws of hospitality not apply in Wessex?
You gifted my Jarl to that whelp from the Order of Ancients, the warrior Fulke.
Fulke is a member of the Order as well. The wolves biting at my skirts grow craftier by the day.
How much do you know of this order?
Only this and little more. This letter, signed by one who calls himself a poor fellow soldier of Christ, warns of a plot against my life.
The gallows, the quill, the Sikhs. 3 men eager to kill you.
2 now. The Bishop Aelfirth is dead. He was the Sikhs, so far as I can tell.
And a humble servant of your god. That must sting.
Still, his death has strengthened Christian fellowship in Winchester. I pray the deaths of his colleagues will do the same.
You have faced warriors like me many times before, and many times you have lost or been cheated. Why trust me now?
I have men in London and Jorvik. Men who send me reports on the rise and fall of the tides of war. Not long ago, men and women of some influence were murdered in those places. In oddly specific circumstances. When I received this letter from our poor fellow soldier, it did not take long to work out why. I don't know your motive, nor what you hope to gain. All I ask is that you finish the work you have begun, before these fallen souls infest England further.
I should let the Order kill you. If I made it easy for them, they might even return Sigurd to me.
I would return him to you myself, if I knew where they were holding him. But Fulke's treachery has blindsided me as well.
Then promise me a reward I can sing about. A healthy king's weight in silver.
Very well. As much as you can carry. This morning, my reeve, Goodwin, was not at his post.
A man you trust.
Goodwin was following the clues given in this letter when he disappeared.
Where was he last seen?
At his house, by the West Gate. You may find something there. Eivor, compose yourself while you are my guest. My city is not a battlefield.
Not yet, great king, but the day will come. I need to find this reeve, Goodwin. Come here. I want to talk to you.
You'll get nothing from me. I'm as loyal as the king's
Dominus
hounds.
autum et supplementum aupertur liquidae domino. Sic natura unis pia et pi sunt simula natura. Sed hic
You don't give me Alfred's
It's Helga here.
I want to talk to you.
Is this what you want? You filthy swindler! A pond full of piss!
He's got some stones on him arresting Alfred's man. Who rules in Winchester anyway? The king or not?
Well, you ain't, that's for sure. So keep your mouth shut and do as you're told.
The other side must be barred. Goodwin gone, and guards sniffing around. So where would they have taken him?
You die now!
papers thrown in the fire. Goodwin covering his tracks, or the guards destroying evidence. Broken bowls, food scattered. They took him by force. There must be a garrison in the city. A violent struggle with the guards. They must have taken him to Winchester's garrison. Someone disagrees with Alfred educating the people of Winchester.
This is your last warning. Give me Alfred's trinket or I'll piddle in your paw.
The guards here are vigilant. Go, Sunan. The prisoners might know something.
Felling trees, chiseling rock from the earth, and for what? To build more prisons for men who steal apples.
I'm looking for the Reeve.
Selwyn? That bastard said I stole an apple. You'll see me hang for it.
Not Selwyn. Reeve Goodwin was arrested not long ago.
Alfred's man? Arrested? Now that's as funny as a dose of the pox. Seems no one is free in Winchester.
Help! Help!
I was starving. My baby son close to death. Would you not steal to save your child?
Aid me. Be my eyes. thick walls and thicker guards. Place to keep a valuable man.
If Jesus turned water into wine and multiplied fishes, why didn't everyone rise once their face told?
Reeve Selwyn ordered executions for petty theft and mudslinging. A husband and wife, to be carried out soon.
A Dane in Winchester? These are strange times.
King Alfred sent me, pleading from his bended knee to find someone.
I know Alfred well enough to spot a bloody lie when I hear it. If he did send you, he was standing tall and proud.
That he was, and you are the man I've come to find, Goodwin. Do you know why?
If I had one guess, to find these heretics from the Order of Ancients, and bury them so deep, even God would need a shovel.
So where do we start digging?
My research should help us. If they haven't burned it already, it'll be somewhere nearby.
I will find your research. Now go before they find their wolf has fled his cage.
Let's regroup beyond the walls!
Goodwin's research against the Order of Ancients.
Winchester mourns a good bishop and a strong.
I am grateful for your help.
It is a brazen move to arrest Alfred's favorite reeve.
This so-called order are nothing but deviled shit peddlers.
Shit peddlers who have wormed their way into every crevasse of your country. They are dangerous.
I didn't catch your name, did I?
Eivor, of the Raven clan. Scourge of Mercia, if that name does not rattle some recognition.
Well, Eivor, when our three heretics smolder on a heap of ash, we'll down a cup of ale together and share our distaste of Mercians like old friends.
Alfred believes at least one is dead. Your bishop, Aelfirth, was the sixth.
Bugger. Half of Winchester is in mourning for that nun-groper.
I found this nailed on a door. The quill wields words like a knife.
A disputation of tutelage. Pretty chatter with poisoned intent. I will look into this more.
The gallows. What do you know of him?
Must be another reeve, I'm sure of it. Only we have the power to mete out justice. And this one would walk with cocksure righteousness.
Is Selwyn a name you know? He seems to have judged and executed many for little more than stealing ale and bread.
Of course. That hedge pig has brought down laws like a hammer on Winchester, executing sinners on spurious charges in the square.
Could it be another?
He's the man. He's the only one who fits. End his terror, Eivor.
This is your last warning! Give me Alfred's trinket or I'll piddle in your pond! Is this what you want, you filthy swindler? A pond full of piss? I'm happy to...
Good people of Winchester, open your eyes. See how Alfred's lofty ideals are weighed down in this mire of human effluence. These prisoners before you do not live by Alfred's laws. They live above them. They wallow in shit, only guided by their own perversity. Hubert here, his wits addled by ale, spoke false of Bishop Aelfirth, our pious servant of Winchester, who even now lies cold in his grave shroud.
Aelfirth was no man of God. He'll burn for his sins.
Your wife is a baying shrew, Hubert. Is there a man here who has not supped rancid mead from her cup?
When will your work be done, Selwyn? When all of Winchester falls to your justice?
Winchester has passed judgment, Hubert. May God have mercy on your cankerous soul.
There are rats in the grain store, and Alfred has set the trap. You cannot steal them and welcome at our house. You cannot slander and keep your tongue. You cannot walk freely through our streets, mocking our Lord, our King's edicts. And so I ask, who has the right to determine the fate of the perverse, if not the goodly people of Winchester? I am but your humble servant.
Leona, you have been found guilty of harlotry and defamation. May God grant me strength.
There's no longer freedom in Winchester.
None are safe from his blade.
Perverter of justice. Who dares execute the king's noose?
It is not in Alfred's name that you carry out your work. You are the Order's executioner.
You peer through the veil, but you do not see clearly. Alfred's laws are a slave's fever dream. He offers shit-soaked beggars a seat at his table, where the meek devour the strong. Who best to judge the fate of the wretched many, if not the strong and worthy few?
To protect your people, you must sheathe your hand in an iron glove. You grind your heels into the backs of freedmen, not those who deserve it.
The Order condemns all men to pain. For all men are but a shadow of the perfection we should know. The perfection of the Ancient Ones.
You are only a man, Reed. One dead branch on a fast-dying tree. I should meet with Goodwin, see what he has found on the quill.
Selwyn is dead. His lies poisoned everyone against us.
Why does Alfred not do something? Selwyn's bloodlust will doom us all.
My son is not an orphan today. You did more than enough. Do you believe in souls? Part of us that lives on with God.
Guide me. What is that boy doing all the way up there? Show me what lies ahead.
I don't. I'm just screwing my courage to the sticky place. It's time to fall! Oh my days, I can't look! It's shampoo!
A cheerful heart is good medicine.
but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Does Magister Batter not teach you the scriptures?
Magister Batter is a horse's dangles.
And here is the axe I used to swat a fly.
You have ventured from your burrow?
And you have plunged my city into chaos. I had hoped you would use the lessons of your subtler gods.
We have no subtle gods.
If the gallows is truly dead, perhaps we can allow cautious revelry?
I did only what I agreed to, Alfred. If your crown now weighs heavy, I would gladly take it from you.
Forgive my outburst. God sowed in me a passion, but English prose is an instrument long out of tune.
We all want better for our people, don't we, Eivor? Yours and ours.
The quill remains. What do we know?
The decay of learning has been gentle in Wessex. We enjoy the office of wise men, but we have neglected the study of wisdom.
The quill preys on this lapse.
Did you discover more from the writings I found?
I did. The quill is calling the children of Winchester to arms. Now we know why so many children scurry through the streets. Feral and untutored.
I can talk to some, see where they lead me.
Good. Find me at the alehouse when you're done. And try not to scare the piss from any of them.
We Norse are the monsters of your Saxon mother's bedtime tales. I promise nothing. I see you, child. Come.
The bad reeve, Selwyn. I saw you punish him in the square.
He hurt many people.
Yes. He hurt my mother to death. Then took her good luck charm. Perhaps you found it? A little carved tree. It is all I have to remember her by.
Such a sad story. Take this. Perhaps it will keep you off the streets and out of trouble.
For me? Oh, thank you.
Spry, little mouse. Will you lead me to your quill?
Heaven will swallow the smoke of Aelfred's pyre.
Very poetic. But he's going to be buried in the ground.
Get off me, you oaf!
Stop struggling and give back that apple.
Apple? I didn't scrub on nothing! Get your hands off me, cow breath!
Cow breath? You little street rat.
Young King Alfred. No! Get off! Someone help me!
God's beard! You'll set Winchester ablaze!
Roly-poly mutton man, you can't catch me!
Oh, God help me. I'd rather be shoveling dung in Malvern again.
Come on, Essenberg. It's yours for the taking. He's going to fall! Oh, my days, I can't look! Jump, little flea! Jump, flea, jump! Stop it, you...
Surveying the area.
Sunan.
Danish infantry.
You again? You should mind your own beeswax.
Elwyn, is it? You wield fire like the flaming Jotnar.
It was burning when I found it. Hot days like this, things just go whoosh. Well, you great moon calf.
Hand it over, Alwyn. We saw your little shadow take it. What you looking at?
How about I pay you to scuttle off to the tavern and drink yourself senseless?
Deal. Better than running round after you, grubby urchins.
Ha! That showed them.
Trouble seems to follow you.
And I wriggle out of it like a slippery eel. Why are you following me?
What is so important that you would risk his little neck for it?
Keep your sticky beak out of our business.
Whose business? The Quill's?
Us? Working for the Quill? Shows what you know.
Is that so?
They were the Quill's ninny pops. Smart stuff to throw coin at them. They'll be too swift to bother you now.
It sounds like you owe me your life.
This one's brave and strong. Might be able to help us.
So you're not working for the Quill?
We steal to stay alive and out of the Quill's clutches.
But you know where I can find him.
They come up from the sewers like rats. Go on, give him what you took. Maybe he can save us. Good luck, Dane. Try not to get maimed and all that.
I should watch out for a mousetrap.
I like the pretty things, but Magister Battus' stealing is wrong. Everyone died and left me alone on the streets. I'm going to marry King Alfred, and he's going to whisk me away from all this toil.
I didn't get nothing today. There's never enough food. I'm always starving.
Eyes open. You're finished.
Alwyn. Few have the wit that you and I possess. Most see the world in simpler terms, where we are the weaker sex.
A broodmare who preys on innocence, and you brag about strength.
How little you know. Defend your mistress! Come, child. Whisper what you've learned, and Mother will give you a treat.
Coward. Using children to spy and steal for your order.
To educate them. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. Or woman. What use are letters when a child can only write his name in pig shit? Or wisdom in a woman when she cannot wield it beyond her heart? I taught little Alwyn so much more. Saved her from a life less worthy. She will find enlightenment in the Order, just as I did. If I could save them all, I would.
But you cannot. You have corrupted too many to save too few.
My order is the only way forward. It can quench our thirst for knowledge. If only Alfred's slave faith is defeated. And what would you sacrifice for infinite knowledge?
An immeasurable gift. Why refuse it?
Not their innocence.
A pity. Non requiescat in pace.
Goodwin said to meet him at an alehouse nearby.
Sorga betam.
Eivor!
Is this where Justice hides when she's tired?
Hides? Splood, no. This is a wake, my friend. A celebration to ease the quill on her way to eternal damnation.
You heard.
Hilda's were not the only eyes in Winchester. My spies tell me stories of an avenging angel striking down the unworthy.
I've been called worse.
Be thou hail, Ealdor. That's Life Destroyer in our dialect.
I sat easy with my kinsbane, old honey waves alive in my horn, and my eyes on the door, expecting my death, yet unafraid.
You're quite safe with me, Dane. For now. If the mead is fresh and the air is cool, you may often find a friend even amongst your enemies.
What does a reeve do exactly, besides sniff around the king's coattails for the scent of praise?
I enforce and interpret the laws here. Not man's, but God's law. The natural laws that move the world and hold it together.
Well, if that keeps you busy.
I must thank you before the ale dulls me. By cutting the order down to size, you have given England a hope of unity. It must be a sour apple to swallow, knowing that you are the last of Winchester's enemies.
Are you sure the Sikhs is dead?
The bishop is dead, that's certain. And if the bishop was the Sikhs is dead. A transitive property of mortality, you see.
I do not believe it. Too much theatre in Winchester. Overwrought prayers and wailing women.
Well, you could pay your respects and see for yourself. The funeral is today.
If he rots, I will leave with my silver. But if he lives, there's work to be done.
Watch your step, Eivor. He'll be a hefty corpse in death. Alive, he'd be much bigger. Whether you find or make a corpse, meet me at the Witten with your report.
I'm feeling a bit dry over here.
If the bishop is worm meal, then here should be the proof.
A stranger comes to Wember.
You do not mourn like they do.
Wember is always here, helping the sleeping, singing to them, so they are not frightened before they meet God.
The sleeping? You mean the dead?
Wember helps the monks. Dig, dig, dig.
You dig the graves. Did you bury Aelfirth?
Have you seen Layoff? My poor friend. Poor Layoff.
Layoff. What happened to him?
Sleeping. Sleeping like my dog when I hugged him too hard.
Someone heard Layoff.
Yes. And while he slept, they stole his face. Are we friends now?
Threadbare clothes. Did they belong to Wemberstrand?
Lord grant my brother Aelfir eternal bliss, where joy endures for all those beloved of God. Do you not see? I am in prayer.
May we speak of your brother's death?
Have you no shame? Leave me.
I will leave you in peace, then. Did you know Bishop Aelfirth?
Barely. But can you still smell the burned flesh? It's rife across the whole graveyard.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Makes no odds to me. But I'm sorry for Harriet. She cared so much for him. More than a sister should.
Such a grisly fate. Did you know Aelfirth?
By reputation, I did. He was no friend of Alfred's. I once heard them quarrelling at a Witten.
A sad day for Winchester.
Maybe now God will reward us with a man who truly believes in him.
Such a grisly fate. Did you know Aelfirth?
By reputation, I did. He was no friend of Alfred's. I once heard them quarrelling at a Witten.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Makes no odds to me. But I'm sorry for Harriet. She cared so much for him. More than a sister should.
Did you know Bishop Aelfirth?
Barely. But can you still smell the burned flesh? It's rife across the whole graveyard.
Are you the bishop's family?
God, no. Just here to make sure that impious bastard is actually dead. He bedded my wife, the randy bastard.
Did you know Bishop Aelfirth?
No, but I plan to write an epic poem of his grisly demise. Oh, poor Aelfirth, scorched of face. All your woeful companions, bold, bayoneted, weeping. Weeping as you are...
Sleeping.
Oh, yeah, perfect, yes.
Lord grant my brother Aelfir eternal bliss, where joy endures for all those beloved of God.
The face is burned, and his clothes do not seem to fit his frail body. It could be Wember's friend. And this corpse's build is slight, frail. Goodwin said Aelfirth was a brute. This funeral is a shadow play. The Order killed an innocent, burned his face so no one could tell, and interred him in Aelfirth's place. His sister knows more than she lets on.
Leave me to my grief.
A pretty show you have laid on here. But I know the truth.
You would dare speak to me? When my poor brother Aelfirth lies cold in his shroud.
Your brother is the Sikhs, and no more dead than I am.
Heresy. My brother was the Bishop of Winchester.
How better to hide than behind a bishop's robes? He's no man of God. He serves the Order. And you buried him when Goodwin got too close to the truth. Or rather, you buried another in his place. The poor gravedigger's friend.
No, you cannot just...
Talk now, or you will join the poor unfortunate you murdered in his grave.
You bastard Dane.
You're as bad as them. I only ever wanted to serve God. Guards! All right, have your way. They won't do you any good. Guards, protect me! Why are you doing this?
Enough of this cat and mouse. Where's your brother, the one they call the Sikhs?
He is a ghost now. But he will make himself flesh once more at the Witten. And Alfred will be king no more.
He means to kill Alfred.
Regicide? No. The king will step aside and Aelfrith will lead us all, risen and resplendent as the Lord.
You are a damned fool. Show me what lies ahead.
The Sikhs must be hiding in the crowd, biding his time to strike at Alfred.
Priest, clerk, or abbot can turn the letter of their sermons from Latin to English. And how can we understand God's words if they are not spoken in our tongue? Aelfrith is dead, and we mourn him. But the foul deeds of the unrighteous are sown among our holy deeds, like cockles and tare in a field of wheat. Education, wisdom, enlightened thought. This will raise us above the sins of our fathers. These I will demand of the next Bishop of Winchester. And so we meet to discuss all worthy candidates and choose the man who will shepherd our flock.
The king is
How sweet is the shepherd's pipe when he calls his lambs to slaughter. I was born to Christians in the northern wilds. My mother would cradle me beneath the stars and whisper, dove-like, God watches over you. Then your people came. And God fixed his stout eye as they slit her throat for a copper ring. No stars threw down their spears as barbarians smeared her blood through fields of broken wheat. God watched all, and I hated him.
It may be Alfred's God was testing you. A trial you failed.
Alfred's God is weak. Yet he would chain us all in his service, from our first breath to our death rattle. My order wishes to break these mind-forged manacles. I am the wolf in lamb's wool.
He takes on the role of a god himself. A worthy path to walk.
A wolf is but a walking feast for ravens.
One more gift for you, Dane. A deadly truth, if you can find it. With my death, the Order will not die. It will only transform into something far worse for all of us.
Aelfirth will not cheat Loki's dread daughter twice.
I owe you my life.
An irony not lost on me, Alfred.
My king will go by back streets to the Old Minster. Eivor may find us there when all has settled.
Aelfirth, my love! No! Curse you, Dane! My brother served God.
He was not a Christian. He abhorred your god.
But why strike him down? Have you no compassion for good men?
We both have more questions than answers. But if you know this key, perhaps we can help one another. Where is its home?
You treated me with kindness, but this damned order, their machinations killed my brother, so the rest may rot. Take this key to the ruins beneath the bishop's house. You may find answers there.
What do you see? If Aelfirth's sister spoke true, I will find answers in the ruins. This must be it. The door to Aelfirth's secrets. I will send this to Hytham. He may make some sense of it.
Everything they did was to undermine Alfred. She lied to me. There's nothing here of the Order. I should see Alfred for my reward.
Come forth, Eivor.
Here is far enough.
When wrongdoers came to devour my flesh, these enemies stumbled and fell.
Have the laws of hospitality been thrown out, Alfred? I did exactly as we agreed.
That you did. But do not mistake necessity for friendship.
You are a man of your word, a man of God.
Indeed. By his example, I live my life. Goodwin?
Here is the only silver fit for one of your dragon boats. A reminder of Christ's sacrifice and our charity.
This too I offer you. Live here among us in peace as a Christian, or die a pagan in a blood-soaked field. All you have to lose is life everlasting.
And if I choose neither?
He offers you hope, Eivor. A life of purpose, above and beyond this one. You'd be a fool to refuse.
Your reign will end, King of the West Saxons. Raven wings will beat until your throne crumples to dust.
You were wrong, Goodwin. This one is beyond saving.
You had your chance, damn you!
I did not want it. Damn you, Alfred. I will return to Hytham and Ranvi. They will want to know what happened here.
What do you see, Sunan? More sail! Let's have a song. Is there a sea scald among you?
I once sat down and spoke to Saxon priest. Not as
Mask
men with
down.
different gods, but as drunk man. Curious, I questioned him. He claimed we might believe differently in who sits amongst the clouds. But our beliefs are not so different.
Set the
in
mast
nature.
up!
After all, they too look to the gods for answers. Where we have many,
Run
they
up
have
the
just
sail!
one. Only need one, I suppose. So I asked him, is your god truly so powerful? We see the dark cloud.
We will pick up from there.
there, Eivor.
Where were you?
So I asked him, is your god...
Hush now. Were you at the good part yet?
So I asked him, is your god truly so powerful? We see the dark clouds and know Thor's fury as it singes Midgard.
Hold on, good Scott. I should be cautious around here. All right, back to the story.
So I asked him, is your god truly so powerful? We see the dark clouds and know Thor's fury as it singes Midgard. But I had yet to witness their god's primal powers. What were they? Did he bring bountiful harvests or boons? The priest said that his god was everywhere and everything. I did not understand it then. Maybe I still do not. There is an undeniable vigor, a strength, in their idea of heaven.
We can continue later. Sail! Catch the wind! Were you at the good part yet?
There is an undeniable vigor, a strength, in their idea of heaven. Believing that their lives will one day be better still, even with us cleaving through it. Hope, Abel. Hope. I think that is what their god brings them.
Stories must wait. You salt skulls, got a story?
During my 19th winter, King Styrbjorn ordered the construction of a new longhouse. The splendid hall you now see at Fornburg. To build this longhouse, he employed the help of 20 men. I was among them, as was Fradi, the strongest and stoutest man I had ever seen. We set about felling trees and hewing wood for timber. Fradi was the fastest of us, dropping 41 trees in only 2 days. On the third day, a spindly man was near upon felling his first tree. He had hacked it all the way around like some mad animal.
Save it for later. Where were you?
On the third day, a spindly man called Nar was near upon felling his first tree. He had hacked it all the way around like some mad animal. When the tree fell, it did so in a direction he had not wished. Straight down upon Fradi. Nar called out, but it was too late. Fradi had only enough time to turn and face the doom bearing down upon him. With that, he raised his arms to embrace the timber hammer. The force of the trees falling drove Fradi deep into the snowbank, yet his arms never let go. He held that angry trunk as a lover. Like hounds, we scooped at the snow to reach him. We found Fradi 10 feet down, alive but in pain, still bearing the tree upon his shoulder.
Hold on, good Skull. All right, back to the story.
Won't be gentle if they spot me.
Let the sail out! Who will share a tale?
Friends, I have often said Nya was a gift from my wife. But until today, I have never told the full tale. In those days, Alfhilder and I were young, and often did the things that young lovers do. But we never could have a child. Still, we tried. Every day. Yet always we failed. I took this hard and sought guidance, so I went hunting in the woods. When I returned, Alfhilder was gone. I searched every corner of town, but she was nowhere to be seen. At last I asked the seeress, who told me she had given Alfhilder a mixture and sent her into the woods to find a child. Think of the fear that ran through me. I ran into the woods and searched until I found her trail. I followed it deeper, until I found blood near a cave mouth. I ventured inside, only to find dead wolves ringing a dying bear. Its fur snow-white. Fearing the worst, I searched on, only to have Alfhilder find me. In her arms, she held a mewling bear. Alfhilder had found Njar. The wolves and bears had killed one another. The cub was starving until my wife found her. Njar, our daughter.
We need an epic tale.
I once saw a Dane in Gautland boil bear meat for his supper. Can you believe that? He boiled it!
We can continue later.
When I was 11 winters old, I was the youngest of my favorite cousins. A wild and rowdy bunch of boys and girls. Together with our parents, we attended a feast at the home of Halfdan the Black of the House of Yngling. To toughen our patience, our parents set us with the old woman, who ordered us to bake flatbreads and serve it to the noble yards. After an hour, the flatbreads piled so high into pillars, you could have built a roof over it and called it a longhouse. When our work was done, an older boy, Guthrod, suggested we steal a keg of mead and drown in happiness for our good work. So Guthrod, Mikkel and Åsa snuck into the storeroom and stole a barrel as I stood watch. But when we were spotted, I froze. 3 of Harald's men stopped us. They struck Guthrod and Mikkel and pushed Åsa to the ground. Whose idea was this? They asked. I stood and said, the idea was mine. The meat is for me. One of the men eyed me and said only,
"No other
"That
man!"
is not true." Then, they moved on.
Mass up! Run up the sail! Let's hear a story.
The last time we were docked, I saw 2 drunk-ass Odin warriors take a tinkle of this great...
I will tell you this. No one is born with the gift of Odin's verse. One must work and suffer to learn the skill of fighting. When you look like I do, and do not hit as hard as the young oafs, you must find different ways to survive. A long time ago, on youth's smooth path, I came into the company of an old Skald. He wrote sagas for the Jarls of the region. He had fallen into trouble with some of the locals, and I could not stand by and watch him take a beating. So I stepped in. 6 men attacked me, and I was swiftly put down. For that, the old Skald bought me ale and invited me to join him on his travels. I was to help him with physical errands and be a second ear to his compositions. In turn, he would teach me how to compose verse. We would spar with words. He taught me about
Dock the ship here.
new kennings.
Hush now. I cleared Winchester of the Order. Yet to do so meant working with King Alfred.
Your poor fellow soldier led you to the King of Wessex? How very strange. He, or she, is toying with you, it seems.
I have to go.
Then go in peace.
Hey, Eivor!
Huh? The Order in Winchester has been wiped out, but we are no longer welcome there. My contact was none other than King Alfred himself. The Order wanted him dead, so he fought back.
Alfred, the line between friend and enemy is a porous one.
I want to see the Alliance map.
I have received a unique summons from Nottinghamshire in the north. From your old friend, Willy.
Willy? A name I've not heard in 10 winters or more. How is he?
Well, it seems. Vili asks that you join him in feast and celebration in honor of his father, Hemminger Jarl.
A welcome invitation. It will be good to see him again.
It is worth recalling that his father, Hemminger Jarl, would be a formidable ally. Will you go?
I will leave for Nottinghamshire today.
Good. They will be pleased.